back's turn. Origi turn, shoot!
Build the dream in FIFA 20, pay less and get more, and use the code TVM at checkout for a bigger discount. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to another video. Today I have a 100k Bundesliga squad builder. It may come under the 100k mark by a fair bit here or there, but it depends on your platform and the time of day that you buy things, etc. But this is around 100k. This is the team that I've been using on the road to glory. It is full Bundesliga that as I decided to go that way this year. Whether I'll stay that way is, I don't know, it's up in the air right now. I will have a few slight changes to the team. In fact, there are 3 considerable changes to the team. If you want to go check that out on the road to glory later today. But for the time being, you're about to see what team I've been running, and it is a 100k Bundesliga squad builder. So without any further ado, let's get into the first player. Now, I've got 2 Bundesliga keepers. I was using Pavlenka, but Radecki wins because Pavlenka literally can't catch anything. He makes too many mistakes rather, and it's just not a good player to have in there. I'm not a fan of him whatsoever. Moving on, let's get the 2 fullbacks in. So Max on the left and Weiser on the right. Now, Babu is definitely an option. Don't know how much he costs, but he does look decent. Again, with the right chem style, could be good. And Max, I know Roussillon is probably the better of the 2 players. In fact, he definitely is the better of the 2 players. But again, it was sort of cheap and cheerful, and I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I just wanted to plug the gaps, as it were. 2 centre-backs I was kind of committed to, because Boateng and Jonathan Tah cost me around 20,000 coins together. In fact, we can find out. So 7,000 coins for Jonathan Tah and 11,000 coins. So, I mean, not far off. 18k for both of those was maybe a little bit too much. I don't know how much they are now. And I know I need to put chem styles on players and things, but I don't want to commit myself by putting shadows on players, because Boateng needs a shadow. So, I mean, that's 5k. And I don't want to do that if I'm going to swap him out for Hernandez, for instance. I'd love to, but Hernandez has obviously just got himself a once to watch, so the chances of me putting him in anytime soon, quite slim. Let's go into the midfield. I'm going to have to switch this filter to a centre mid because Aranguiz is not placed as he should. Now, Aranguiz is a decent player. I wouldn't say he's the best card you can have in this position. He's played 35 times for me. He's very well rounded. But a player that I packed yesterday and is now on my bench, Tolisso. Yes, he needs a bit of a pace boost, but he's better, in my opinion, than Aranguiz. So there is a strong possibility that Tolisso will replace Aranguiz over the coming days. But for now, Aranguiz is going to be in this squad builder. Moving over to the right-hand side, we might as well do this now. We're going to go with Thorgan Hazard. Now, Sancho, if you've got the coins, sure, better player. But he's a lot of money. It's a lot of money to spend on an 84 that I can't see holding his price too much longer. I say too much longer. There's always going to be a drop there, Hazard is a good player. Again, he's very well rounded. The right chem style in the right place, and you've got yourself a bit of a monster. I wouldn't be completely against putting a hunter on him just to boost the finishing and the shot power, as well as making him even quicker, but the engine does the job for now. Over on the left, I'm going to need to replace my left wing with Rashica. This was actually requested by everyone in the road to glory. I read the comments and everyone was like, you need to get Rashica on the left. I think I had Thuram of Borussia Mönchengladbach on the left for a long time, so he's coming out. He's actually done a very good job. He's very agile. He's very quick. I was saying in the road to glory that I wanted agility in the attackers, because the higher agility that you have in FIFA 20, I feel, the more mobility that you have. Of course, it should be like that anyway, but in FIFA 20, it really does matter. So that's what I wanted, and he's actually turned out to be pretty good for me. 11 goals in 35 games from midfield, because we do go into the narrow formation, which I will get into. Let's have a look at the cam spot then. Julian Brandt. Now, Sabitzer is there and Botius is there. Both of those at one time were the starting players. So, Botius, I don't know how to say that guy's name, he was starting for me. He's played around 9 games, and then we upgraded to Sabitzer. And he's only played a few, actually, 13 games. And then, but again, a very good card, especially for the price. And then we upgraded to Julian Brandt. I wanted Kai Havertz, but Havertz was pretty expensive. He was around the 40-50k mark, and I only had about 25 or something. 24. So we've picked up Julian Brandt. He's obviously gone up in price now because he has a ones to watch. Hazard hasn't got up in price yet, despite having a ones to watch. So I'm not quite sure what's going to happen with his price. But Julian Brandt has been an absolute monster for me. He's starting to creep up in goals. It doesn't look like he's done that well, but he's starting to get a lot more involved. He wasn't before for whatever reason, but now he is. And the two strikers, we'll add them together. Paco Alcacer and, of course, no, I'm just joking. Yusuf Poulsen. Oh, a bit of deception. Now, Yusuf Poulsen is one of those players who, from last year, I liked. I've tried him this year, and he's okay, but nothing special. But then if you look at the records between him and Alcacer, they've both roughly been here the same amount of time. 6 goals for Alcacer with 9 assists in 16 games. To be fair to him, I did struggle in the early stages. He's starting to come into his own now. I actually really like him, and he's starting to score more goals. He's getting more involved. But the record on Yusuf Poulsen is 26 goals in 35 games with 14 assists. That's 40 goal contributions in 35 games, which is phenomenally good. And yet, for whatever reason, if anybody asks me, do you like Poulsen? I'd be like, yeah, he's alright, but I wouldn't expect him to be, the be-all and end-all. He's not going to score you loads of goals or anything. But he's the highest goal scorer in the team, so I don't really understand it myself. A player that is lurking down here on the bench is Kevin Campbell. I put a shadow on him yesterday for reasons that I will go into in the road to glory. But if we look at his stats with a shadow, 4-star weak foot, 3-star skills. Skill moves this year, by the way. I need to get him in there on chem. Let's put him in here so that he's on 9 chem, so that we can at least see some of the boost. So, yeah, what was I saying? I can't remember. Hunter. I put him on a Hunter. I've got him in my new team on the road to glory, but he's not going to feature. But just bear in mind that this guy is super cheap, and he's a good little player. We now have 80, I know it's 78 technically, but with 10 chem, we'd have 80 sprint speed and 93 acceleration. We'd have much better finishing. I say much better. I don't know how much better it would be because we don't have the proper boosts. But with a Hunter, it really does make this card phenomenal. He's already got the dribbling and the ball control, the agility and so on. His stamina means he can run for days. I've actually got him on my road to glory, not in replacement of Hazard, but he's going to play in the position that Hazard takes up in this team. Now, in terms of the custom tactics, we'll switch up to the 4-1-2-2 narrow up here. Press after possession loss. 5 bars here for width, and then 4 bars for depth. If you watched the squad builder yesterday, you will be completely aware of these instructions. This is where they were first sort of discovered, really. This is where I started using them first, and then I just apply it to every 4-1-2-1-2 that I make. But I will be trying other formations in squad builders. It just, this is the one that I play naturally. Balanced offensive style with 6 bars for width, 6 for players in the box, 2 on corners because we don't want to get caught on the counter, and then 3 for free kicks because rebounds more than anything, because they do take shots from free kicks. As you can see, there's the formation. It doesn't change. It just means that Rashica and Hazard come in from the wings. And instructions: both strikers get in behind and stay central. Julian Brandt is stay forward. Nothing on Hazard and Rashica. Aaron Geese is stay back while attacking. Feel free to tell him to drop between the 2 centre-backs. Depends on how deep you play your line. And it depends, of course, as well, of how good you are at defending. Because if you are very good, I would put my fullbacks on overlap. But if you're not very good and you're still feeling it out, then leave them on default. I wouldn't put them on stay back while attacking. It kind of stifles the attack now and again. But ultimately, those are my instructions. And I've won a lot more games on this account than I've lost. I've only taken, I think, 1 really heavy defeat. The rest of them have been quite close. Few mistakes from me here or there. But generally speaking, that team isn't super expensive. It is around 100k. And it's enjoyable. There are holes, there are gaps, there are problems. I am more than aware that Rashica could be replaced by Perisic, for instance. What else could we do? Max could be replaced by Roussillon. Weiser could be replaced by Mbabu. We could put Hernandez in the defence there. And of course Timo Werner could go up front. There are options everywhere, right? But for 100,000 coins and as a starter team, I am very, very happy. The clips that you are watching in the background are literally just taken from the Road to Glory, some random rivals matches. I've tried to pick out the goals and the chances and things so that you can see where the team is good, and there are a few defensive things in here as well, and you can see how they perform at the back. But okay, you've seen the in-game tactics, but my actual tactic is possession. there are a few tips that I'll probably share with you here. So it sounds obviously simple, but honestly, if you actively try and do it, you will perform so much better. Don't ever try and pass, unless you're really desperate. Don't ever try and pass the ball in a direction that your player isn't facing. So, for instance, when I have the ball here, when we pick up the ball from the attack in a second, I pass it where my player is facing. I never try and do like a 180 pass or even a 360 pass. In previous FIFAs, you can get away with things like that, but in this FIFA, if you pass the way you are facing, 9 times out of 10, you will hit the intended target and you will create more space for your players to move into, and it's just a far better experience. There's hardly ever a situation where there's a misplaced pass. If you try sort of flicks and tricks from balls coming into feet, and then you try and move it to the side, there's a severe lack of power on that pass because he's not facing the direction that you have aimed it. So that's just one tip. The other tip is dribbling. Don't be afraid to just not do any skill moves or anything. Just move that left stick around. Try and literally run round your defender, your marker. There's not ever a situation that you can't get out of. So just use that left stick. Not that I'm being a pro or anything, and I'm trying to teach people how to be better at the game, but these are just things that have helped me. And in particular with this team, they're very good at keeping the ball. They're dangerous going forward. They're very quick on the counter. Rashika and Hazard in particular are very quick. Julian Brandt is literally a cheap Kevin De Bruyne. He even looks like him in game as well. So you would be mistaken for thinking that it was Kevin De Bruyne. But the team just plays very, very well. Defensively, it is a touch on the slow side, and I think if you had shadows, that's a great goal there. If you had, that's Sancho on as a sub, by the way, one of the loans. If you had shadows on Boateng and Jonathan Tah, I don't think the pace would be an issue, but because I don't have the coins right now to be able to do that, because I want to try and improve a few other aspects of the team, I can't do it. But if you do have the coins to do it, I would 100% recommend it, because it just improves that pace. Aranguiz on free kicks, generally horrific, but this one in particular has absolutely banged. Top corner, what a finish. Let's have a look at the replay. In general though, 100,000 coins is a snip for this team, honestly, because it's so good. And there's loads of upgrade options as well. Let me know down below what team you're running and how much is the current cost. Maybe even let me know what your next upgrade is. If you have enjoyed it though, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and until the next time, goodbye.
Football Index, the game changed. Download the app now.